Jamaica, baby, they made me to be the greatest. Serving the deed of my creators. Fresh off of my high haters. It's the king again. Magdalene, chauffeured, bragging and boasting.
YouTube, what up? It's your boy Dollars. Welcome back to the channel. It's another day, another dollar video. This time I'm reacting to Houdini and the City of Fallen Rappers. One of my subscribers told me to check this out. Supposedly it's like a mini documentary about rappers in Toronto that were killed. So that's interesting. I want to check this out. You know, Canada, everybody feels like Canada is sweet, soft, and just a nice place, but they have a lot of shit going on in Canada too, man. They got their own little gangs out there, little gang wars going on. Like, it's crazy. Like, you wouldn't even think something like that's going on in Canada and Toronto too. But that's crazy, you know. Like, I don't know if that's probably a result of the music or it's just really gang beef and then it carries over into the music. Because if it's beef starting from music, I think that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like music should lead into, you know, beefs like that. But I mean, is a history of that happening. Look what happened with Tupac and Biggie. So who am I to say that? This is 11 minutes long, but let's check this out.
You become a target. Not only you're a target, you're rapping about these people. Your house is 10 times the size of their house. That would make me dislike me if I was on the other side.
I don't need you, all I needed myself. I wasn't asking nobody for help. She wanted me cause her name ringing bells. Designer the jeans, so designer the belt.
He was just like my favorite rapper, literally of anyone. He was my favorite.
When you really think about it, yeah, most artists do get killed in their home city. And why do you think that is?
Haters.
People looking at you, saying, I wish that was me.
Bullets sent many fleeing for their lives here on this stretch. Now, the 21-year-old has been identified as a popular Toronto rapper.
Houdini.
All right, we got to talk about
like
the
a year,
Houdini
2 years
story,
ago.
right? The jealousy and hatred rappers got to deal with in their own home city is terrible. And that's a fact in every state in America. But one of the most violent cities right now for up-and-coming rappers to make it out of is Toronto. And people don't realize this. There's a reason Toronto's becoming one of the most surveyed cities in North America. It's looking like Beijing. They're getting cameras everywhere. Only Atlanta, Chicago, and DC got more surveillance per person. And that's because of the
I think New York would actually have the most surveillance per person. I may be wrong, but we got cameras all over the city, bro. Like, they got cameras that's watching cameras that's watching cameras that's watching you. And then they can hack into that and then hack into your phone and then watch you that way too, bro. So you ain't gonna tell me New York doesn't have the most surveillance out of any city in America, but I could be wrong, so.
ongoing gang war that's been escalating for years, right? It's literally hunting season on rappers. And that's exactly what happened to Houdini. Houdini was sitting down with record labels in LA, New York, collabing with Pop Smoke. This kid was the real deal. Until a couple weeks ago, he was brutally shot and killed in broad daylight in the entertainment district of downtown Toronto. And this shit was surgical. They used Glock 9s with 30-round mags. They took advantage of Corona season by wearing medical masks to hide their faces. There was a 6-year-old kid that got caught in the crossfire, dodging bullets.
Bro, if they're actually taking the time out to go to downtown city areas to clap you, that's some serious shit, man. And another thing, I know, like, when rappers get killed and stuff, people will be like, oh, it's haters and all that, but you don't understand the type of life these rappers were living before that. You don't know what they were doing. They were out in the streets hunting people down. They rap about it. They were doing dirt to people too, so you got to look at it from both sides.
That has a high capacity magazine. It's a 30-round magazine. And as this unfolds, I want you to pay attention to the little boy that ducks into the vestibule here.
The whole thing was nuts, right? And the city is shook right now. Now we're gonna get into all this, but before we do, my song of the day today is none other than Houdini himself. Let's go.
Killing money music, that's like VVVVs. Told that bitch to hit the deck, get on her knees. I got numbers of the Fed saying freeze up in my sleep. I look to right, what do you run? We got an infrared beam. I got Bristol on the run, who ain't tryna be seen. Used to flip on a whole bag.
It's definitely gonna get a copyright claim.
A lot of shit, but Scotty giving me release. And I told a little hoe, can't finesse me for my cheese. No, watch tires, get a little nigga knocked off for free. Yeah, and please don't mind, I'm too real for.
You know what gets me upset, man, is always the talented rappers, the nice ones, the dope rappers that get killed, and the whack ass lame ones are still in the game fucking it up. know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't wish that on nobody, but I'm just saying, like, why the good rappers gotta go? You know what I'm saying? The ones with actual talent.
Alright, in order to understand this story, we gotta focus on one hood in particular in Toronto called Driftwood, or Northside Jane and Finch, and this is where Houdini's from. Now, they're by far the most influential in terms of music in the city, but they're also a notorious Crip faction, right? They beef with pretty much everybody in
Crips
the
in
city. To
Toronto?
the south of them, the south side of Jane and Finch, they bang Blood, and that's their direct rivals. The lowest income neighborhood in the city called Regent also has tension with...
Bro, why do they have to jack West Coast gangs? Like, that's like when New York copied West Coast as well. Like, start your own shit. You in Canada. Like, why you jacking some American shit?
Driftwood, stemming from rap beefs and rap killings. And another area called Rexdale has been Driftwood's rival for damn near a decade now. So they beef with everybody. Now in 2015, Driftwood kids kinda instilled the Chirac music vibe up in the north, in Canada. They were putting disses to rivals in their tracks and talking about the stuff they were doing in the streets in their lyrics.
If you diss my niggas, then you know we pulling triggers. Late nights with them killers, we kidnapping drug dealers.
Now that song is Robin Banks featuring Pressa. Pressa is one of the few who actually crossed over to the mainstream American scene, and he's actually living in Cali right now in a nice mansion. His rap career popped off for him, but before all that, he was involved in a case where he allegedly kidnapped 2 drug dealers, moving them around from location to location, holding them for ransom, until eventually forcing them to give each other head in front of everybody. 2 dudes. That's crazy. Now, Pressa was later cleared of those charges and granted the court's permission to go on tour with Drake out in England. And another rapper got 6 years in Pressa's place for the charge. Now, Pressa's partner, Robin Banks, who was in that track that I just showed, he was practically the pioneer for the scene, right? He had the torch early on from 2015, and he kind of started this organic hood label in Driftwood, where he was putting on all the rappers from his area. Robin Banks started getting millions of views, caught the attention of Meek Mill, who really rocked with the movement. Meek Mill and Robin Banks were sending paperwork back and forth. He was about to sign a deal with the Dream Chasers, and to celebrate, he was having a party at a hookah lounge called Cameo, where unfortunately his ops found out about it, infiltrated the party, and shot him up 9 times, leaving him in critical condition. Just as this man was about to cross over to the US scene, they orchestrated that hit on him. Now thankfully, Robin Banks is alive, but he's paralyzed from the neck down, and his ops were super disrespectful, posting memes of him in a wheelchair and stuff. Now he's still doing his thing, releasing tracks and of course pushing the rappers from Driftwood on his label, but the rivals going after Robin Banks like that really escalated the violence in the city, and it made it kind of a trophy for people to target rappers. This was like the first high-profile assassination attempt on a rapper who was about to cross over. Now the next year, the most influential artist out of the country was Smoke Dogg. Now I'm not from Toronto, you don't gotta be from Toronto to know Smoke Dogg. He was getting co-signed by Drake, doing shows in the UK and the US, and he's from the place called Regent Park. Now this is pretty much the trenches, right? It's the lowest income community in the whole city, but it's not very close to Driftwood, and because of that, they didn't really have too much tension back and forth until one summer night at a club in 2018, Smoke Dogg got into a heated argument with a Driftwood rapper by the name of 21 Neat, and this shit escalated quickly, right? They stepped outside where 21 Neat shot and killed Smoke Dogg and his manager. Probably one of the most gruesome after death videos I've seen of a rapper, right? People were filming him and Smoke Dogg's brain matter was like leaking on the road. It was a wild scene. Now this pretty much gave Regent the green light to go after Driftwood as retaliation. And this created a whole bunch of new problems in the city where 2 neighborhoods that otherwise didn't have too much tension now had maximum levels of tension. And Driftwood didn't really care, like they were welcoming all smoke. Now the Toronto police didn't arrest the rapper 21 Neat for quite some time. They couldn't find him. There were even rumors that he escaped to Somalia, but he eventually got found out all the way out in the west coast of the country near Vancouver, where he was extradited back to Toronto to stand trial for the murder of Smoke Dogg. Now this is when the story gets wild, because 21 Neat has a brother who goes by the name of 22 Neat, right? They're both from Driftwood, they're from the same block as Pressa, Robin Banks, they're all homies, which is why it was weird when everyone found out 5 months ago in December of 2019, 22 Neat killed his own homie and fellow rapper on their label named YS. YS had just gotten back from doing a bit in jail, and he was on a bunch of tracks that were getting hundreds of thousands of views, and out of nowhere, the feds found YS's body all the way out on the west coast of the country near Vancouver. And the rumors started circulating that 22 Neat, his own homie, was the one who pulled the trigger. Nobody really knows why he did it, but some people say it was over money. That's not been confirmed. Anyways, 22 Neat knew there would be repercussions, so he fled to a place called Calgary, Alberta. But he didn't last long. They actually found him dead 2 days later, as revenge for what he did to the homie YS. Now at this point, the city's in crisis, and Driftwood was putting out all this talent, but
they got homies killing homies, man. That had to be some hate shit. Like, he saw his mans was getting mad views. His career was probably gonna blow up more than him. He felt some type of way. Like, that's what I get from that. That's crazy.
this horrific stuff kept happening.
Yeah, 30-30.
The next to pop out of the city was this rap duo formed by two brothers from Driftwood known as the Talib Twins. They had this track with 5 million views that was scorching hot in the city and in the US as well, before one of the twins eventually got locked up. So the other twin decided to keep the momentum going and kept releasing these fire tracks under the name the Talib Twin. In February of 2020, the Talib Twin was at a condo party on the 32nd floor of an Airbnb rental when two of his ops infiltrated the party and started opening fire. The Talib Twin fired back and managed to kill both of them before he himself died at the scene. And there's a bunch of speculation as to what happened. I mean, you can't make this shit up, right? Like, some people say he tripped and shot him.
Why only two are considered murders is a mystery. There have been whispers that one may have shot himself, but police are not confirming these rumors. That sucks, man. Like, his ops infiltrated the party. He clapped both of them, though. Like, props to that. Like, I respect that. He clapped both of them, but he still took injuries and died from that. You know what I'm saying? And then his other brother's locked up, his twin, and you gotta hear some shit like that in jail. Like, that's the worst.
Himself. But the feds believe he went into another room in the condo and just ended his own
Yeah,
life.
this shit is
The
interesting,
story's
man.
crazy, and the
Like,
thing
this
with
makes me
Driftwood
wanna
and
actually
the
check out
politics in the city
Toronto's
is they
music
beef
scene.
with so many places that sometimes it's hard to say who is responsible for targeting them. They got a lot of enemies. And then, of course, at the end of May, the single biggest name out of Toronto who's not Drake or Tory Lanez or The Weeknd was the rapper Houdini. Now, as I said in my intro, this is a kid who is sitting down with record labels in New York and Los Angeles. He was gonna go places. But unfortunately, as the trend is in the city, Houdini was in the entertainment district of Toronto late in the afternoon. And little did he know, there was a Volkswagen Tiguan that was lying in wait on the east side of a street called Blue Jays Way, which is right where he had to go by. They were waiting for a long time, over 40 minutes. And Houdini was with a 15-year-old boy at the time, and they were making their way down the street. And once they got in range of the Volkswagen, a lone shooter got out of the vehicle and started unloading a bunch of clips in Houdini's direction. There was this little kid who was caught in the crossfire, as well as a family. Like, this whole thing is on CCTV footage, right? It's heart-wrenching. And they unloaded a bunch of clips into Houdini, who got hit and kept running, right? Adrenaline, even if you get wounded mortally, you could still run because you got adrenaline. So he was running with a bunch of bullets in his body and then eventually collapsed and died. And the 15-year-old kid who was with Houdini was also strapped, and he was trying to get off shots back at the assailants, and then his gun jammed, right? Which he got rid of in an alleyway and ran away. Now, Meek Mill, Tory Lanez, and a whole bunch of others took to social media to express their condolences as soon as this happened. And you could see just how much the industry was rocking with Houdini. Like, this was a kid who was about to make it. But just look at Toronto. The city is in shambles right now. Like, the retaliation killings have already been ordered. Houdini's own memorial got shot up in this ridiculous video you can see on YouTube. It's like this drive-by style video where out of the darkness, this car pulls up, starts opening fire.
They shooting up the memorial, bro? Like, damn, they don't even let the family get a chance to mourn and be at peace after y'all killed them. Y'all still doing...
A crowd. The whole crowd is strapped up, so they immediately start firing back. But this shit is nuts.
I remember I seen this video on WorldStar. Yeah, they start clapping, they start hiding behind this little dumpster. A couple of people run inside the building.
I know this happens in the States, it's nothing new, but I'm coining Toronto the city of the fallen rappers because the trend recently of the up and coming rappers who are now dead is just unparalleled. Like, you can't compare it. But yeah, man, that's it for this video. Rest in peace to Houdini, gone but not forgotten. Check out his music when you get a chance. And yeah, man, I'll see you in the next one.
Might actually subscribe to this guy because this was a dope video, dope documentary. It's very entertaining, interesting to learn about Toronto's turf wars and rapper wars they got going on over there. Like, they really drilling stuff out there. It's crazy, man. Like, becoming a rapper nowadays is like signing your own death certificate. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta deal with your ops that's in your city. Then you got ops that just hating on you because they see you blowing up. And so it's just brings a lot of jealousy, envy, and hate being a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta move smart, you know, you gotta move militant, you gotta have the right people around you, you gotta be aware of your surroundings, and just gotta try to stay safe as much as you can, you know? Like, stop posting your location unnecessarily. Like, if you gotta do a performance or something, then you gotta promote that. That's different. But you can still take security measures to stay protected, you know? But yeah, if there's any rapper from Toronto that you want me to check out, do a reaction to their songs, or any rappers that was mentioned in this video, like Houdini or the Taliban twins, or whoever you want me to react to, just let me know in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like this video, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you want to follow me at. It doesn't matter. And shout out to the subscriber that told me to react to this. This was a dope video. I appreciate it. It's your boy Dollars. I'm out.